Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Trust that all is well with all of you. Welcome to another episode, another devotional with Beauty with Grace devotionals. I hope that you would have had a relaxing, rejuvenating, revitalizing, restful weekend. I trust that you are starting off your week with your batteries full, fully charged, so that you are raring and ready to go. I hope that in this moment, that you feel safe wherever you are, that you feel confident, that you feel renewed, that your mind is at peace, that you're in a state of peace, that you are in possession of joy. Not happiness, because that could be fleeting and momentary, but joy that is constant, joy that remains regardless. So I'm hoping that this Monday, the second Monday of February, finds you in that state. New understanding of it taught me, friendship taught me that it requires time, it requires loyalty, it requires sacrifice, it requires commitment, it requires patience, it requires your resources. Sometimes there's a lot, like, you just think to yourself, you grow up, well, there's my friend, there's my real good friend, we're friends for however long, and you're friends because I guess you have things in common, or you like the same things, or you just like being around the person. But 2025 taught me that friendship required investment of your energy, your time, your stomach, your life. It required you turning down your pot for days because somebody needed you to turn down your pot with them. I never thought that I would have ever been asked. Sometimes people, they say, pray for me now. I need you to lift this up and pray for me. I need you to remember this and pray for me. And you say yes and you commit. But for somebody to say, I need you to fast with me on this matter until I get a resolve. Sis. And that's like a 3 days something. No, actually, no. And well, like, what do you mean? So friendship taught me, 2025 taught me some really hard lessons in friendship. It taught me what friendship is not, and it taught me what friendship requires. So I did not think that in February of 2026 we'd be here still. But here we go. So we're still in Timothy. We're still in Timothy, chapter 4. From verse 9, it says, do your best to come to me quickly. This is Paul in his letter to Timothy. For Demas, because he loved this world, has deserted me and has gone to Thessalonica. Now, this part of this letter with Timothy, I just thought to myself, so, Paul, you calling names? Paul, you busting files here? Just so. For Demas, because he loved this world, has deserted me and has gone to Thessalonica. Crescens has gone to Galatia, and Titus to Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Get Mark and bring him with you, because he is helpful to me and my ministry. I send Tychicus to Ephesus. When you come, bring the coat that I left with Carpus at Troas. Now, I don't know, when you watch movies and like boyfriend and girlfriend break up and that kind of thing, they just had a box with all the things that they would have gotten during the relationship, and I come to collect my stuff. I say, Paul, did you fall out with Carpus here and you want back your jacket? Let me read it again. When you come, bring the cloak that I left with Carpus at Troas, and my scrolls, especially the parchments. Alexander the metal worker did me a great deal of harm. Paul just decided to let Timothy know, this what happened to me, this what these fellas do me. The Lord will repay him for what he has done. You too should be on your guard against him because he is strongly opposed to our message. Watch here. I'm not telling you what to do, but I just let you know, just be careful. At my first defense, no one came to my support, but everyone deserted me. May it not be held against them. But the Lord stood at my side and gave me strength, so that through me the message might be fully proclaimed, and all the Gentiles might hear it. And I was delivered from the lion's mouth. The Lord will rescue me from every evil attack and will bring me safely to his heavenly kingdom. To him be glory forever and ever. Amen. Paul just used this whole section here to vent his personal squabbles. And I thought to myself, the Paul had problem with his circle. They must leave me. Be careful of hold on. Let me get his name. Alexander the some versions say Coppersmith the metal worker. He did me a great of harm. And watch yourself with him too. But what stood out to me, apart from the fact that Paul just called names here in the Bible, apart from that, he gave it to God. The Lord will repay him for what he has done. Not me, the Lord. And then he said, at my first defense, no one came to my support, but everyone deserted me. May it not be held against them. Those two things, like I say, apart from the fact that Paul just called out names here, is how Paul said, the Lord will deal with him at the coppersmith, and Father, the rest of them who deserted me, don't even hold that against them. I just find that level of maturity is next level. Like, again, a presidential pardon. I not holding it against you, and I pray God that God don't hold it against you neither for what you did, for how you treated me, for how you mishandled me. Oh yeah. Now I know, obviously, Paul wasn't married, so this is not a marital relationship here. This is individuals that Paul dealing with during his ministry. During his time of ministry, Paul had experiences in his relationship that was painful. And Paul said, may the Lord deal with you for what you done, for what you did. And the rest of all you, I pray that God will even hold it against all you. My encouragement, it have something. Well, you know, when it had I just turn around and say, don't worry, I'm finding it. I'm finding it. My encouragement to us is, there may be individuals, relationships, whether platonic or romantic, you may end up in relationships where you have to literally give it to God. Father, this one did me a great deal of harm emotionally. This one also deserted me when I needed them the most. But Lord, you deal with them. And Lord, I pray that you don't even hold it against this rest here. Listen. I pray that God will help us. Let me be clear. There are times when I don't like to, and I pray that I will never come to there, but I think because of the coaching course that I would have done, some things stay with you from the class. And one of the things is that you do empathy before judgment, empathy before counsel, like allow the person to recognize that I hear you. I get that this is hurting. I get that this has brought discomfort. I get that you are in pain. Like acknowledge where the person is before you prescribe. Pretend you are a doctor. And doctors, they listen first. Where's the problem? Where's hurting you? And they listen and they take in and they take note and then they write a prescription. But some of us, unfortunately, we listen to condemn, we listen to judge, we listen to just to tell you where you could do better, and there's no empathy. There's no Jesus weptedness in you. Like when they come and they tell Jesus, Lazarus died. Like the man knew he was going to bring him back to life. You delayed on purpose and still cried. Empathy first. And then I could do everything else after. I could heal, I could chastise, I could encourage, I could support. But empathy first. So I don't want to come across as if this is the easiest thing to do. Sometimes those hurts, the betrayal, the disappointment, the disloyalty. Paul talk about the fact that they deserted him. Now, I'm trying to keep this devotional and I need 15 minutes and it's done past 12. So let me wrap up. What I will say is, Paul felt his feelings. Paul shared his feelings with Timothy to let Timothy know this is how I'm feeling. But I will ask the Lord to deal with so-and-so, and I will also ask the Lord, don't even charge this to the rest. And to me, it showed, not that I think Paul is Jesus, I just think he's very close to Jesus, but it showed his humanity. And it showed that even in the pain, I still, because we talked about last week how he knew for sure that there was a crown of righteousness waiting for him. This is the kind of things that could have given Paul that kind of confidence, because he knew how he managed himself with the people that hurt him the most. The man say a great deal of harm. Nobody can measure your pain. Like, so somebody might say, oh, my labor, I went through that as a breed, and you feeling like you almost died. You were dying. I cannot come and tell you that it don't take all that. It's not so bad. Excuse? My threshold and your threshold is two different things, and don't measure my maturity based on my threshold for pain. Paul here say it was a great deal of her. Imagine Paul felt because Demas loved this whole. He called the man name because the man no longer shared the same views as him. Paul was hurt by that. You will want to tell Paul that I think that Paul was in prison days were you taking offense to? These were bothering you. But for him to write it, for him to talk about it clearly. Outside of that, I want to encourage us that though the ones nearest and dearest might hurt us and cause us the most damage, get to the point where you can say, Lord, you deal with that. I'm giving this to you, God. And get to the point where you can actually say, Father, like Jesus, forgive them for they know not what they do, what they know not what they did. Paul say, may it not be held against them. Father, don't even charge it. Don't even charge this misdemeanor, this demerit point. Get them a warning, but Lord, don't get them a demerit on their license. Don't charge it to them. I just want to encourage us that even when it is difficult, that you secure your crown of righteousness by how you respond to those that might hurt you the most. Until next time, have an amazing week, guys.